Just this afternoon, I was loafing around on social media. That's me in the corner there dancing. When I saw some interesting debates raging from some of the people that I follow on the appellate law Twitter hashtag. They talk about these experiences early on in their career where partners tell them to go find a case that says X. And when the associate goes out to find it, it doesn't actually say what the partner wants. Or the partner talks about a case that was cited years ago, and if the associate couldn't find it, you haven't looked hard enough or done it right. Now, this debate was raging just over the lunch hour, and that was when I was at a lunch and learn with some librarians. And they told me, Sam, you have to teach our students how to run these advanced searches because they're going to get out there in the work world and they're going to have these assignments. And I told them that I would. I went home, I got onto Twitter, and lo and behold, this debate was raging. So let's show you how to do it in the next couple minutes. I'm here in the Iowa jurisdiction, and I'm going to run a search for the prescription drug defense. Not a rock star search by any means. Call the reference attorneys, work with them. But let's just say these 72 cases represent something that you might be involved in, and this huge number of results. Now, even though I know the case on point is Shorey's, for some obvious reasons, which we'll talk about in a second, how do we get to Shorey's if it doesn't show up in those first few results? Check out the filtering menu. With any of these checkboxes, clicking on those will winnow down 70 into 30-something and allow you to winnow 30-something down into 20-something if I click on criminal, and so on and so on. But even 20-something might not be enough when your professor or your managing partner is expecting an answer right away. A couple other things that you can do then. You can run searches based on the judge that wrote the opinion, the attorneys that were on it, the firm, the key number, or the party. Or you could try this advanced one. You'll notice it here to the right of the search button. Now, if you were to hit the advanced search button from the results page, you'd notice something unimpressive, which is 3 whole things you could click on over here. You'd see the same thing if you were on the Westlaw homepage and you hit advanced. Again, 3 whole things. So to get to that chock full list of document fields, which we'll talk about why they're so great in a second, but to get to them, you're actually going to have to run a search within a database. I'm going to type in Iowa cases, do Iowa state and federal cases, and then when I hit advanced along the side, you don't get 3 fields. You get more like 30. Okay, maybe fewer than 30. Excuse me for a second, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Now, when I'm looking at these fields, you can see how they are directly on point to answering the questions that are put to you in practice. I remember citing a case years ago. How long ago? Let's give you a date range from 1/1/2000 to maybe 1/1/2014. Hit OK. And you'll notice what shows up in the top. These are those terms and connectors, those fields in the document that Westlaw has that you can search. What are these fields? Click on any of these little pictures to pull up what the advanced search could look through. You could look at the citation. You could see the party name. You could search the synopsis, background, holding, digest, headnotes, topics, the parties, the attorneys, the leads, all of this stuff is going to allow you to say, I know that way back in 4 years ago, let's just change that to 2010, 6 years ago, an attorney named Urbano worked on a case where maybe somewhere in the full text of the case, there was something about the drug methadone. And I know that dissenting in that opinion was Justice Waterman. You'll notice that as this stuff is being typed down here in the bottom, it shows up in the top. And we're not done yet. Because if you didn't know how to spell the attorney's name, you could use these connectors and expanders to make that search even easier. I'm not going to show you what all of those things do, because that would take forever. But there is a place to find what all of those connectors are and what they do, and a place to get help on that, so I'll show you that in a second. But just be aware that the advanced button from a database like state and federal cases is going to allow you to build a search with incredible levels of precision, run a single search, and then find just the case stories that says absolutely everything that the person you're working with has in mind. Lo and behold, this case is written after 2010, where the attorney's name is Bourbano, Waterman wrote the dissent, and the word methadone shows up in the case. And you can, again, continue to filter it even more if there was more than one result. But we've run such a great search that there is only one result. Now a little bit about Westlaw terms and connectors. A full list of them is available on lawschool.westlaw.com. Clicking on any of these awesome resources will link you to the official collateral that talks about what all these connectors are and what they do. Additionally, at the bottom of any Westlaw page, you'll see this Contact Us button, where you can ring this number 24/7, 365 and be connected with a reference attorney, complimentary for any law student researching on Westlaw, a licensed attorney who can help you find what you're looking for, look at the source, look at the search that you're doing, and say, what's with these results? That's pretty great. You can also send them an email. They're down over here, or even live chat them. The button would be down there at the bottom of the screen as well. But really, in a nutshell, that's what it's about, is running these advanced searches inside Iowa cases or Ohio cases. You run any search inside a precise database, you will be able to click that advanced button and bring up those fields and use those terms and connectors to build a rockstar search. But what about other things, like maybe Ohio Secondary? When you run that search inside Ohio Secondary, you get completely different fields. You'll notice preliminary material, text, citation, author. So experiment with that. Try it out in different types of sources. Try that advanced button, and not just on the homepage where there's only 3 things. That's what's going to allow you to unearth authority from Z years ago that says Y thing that maybe the partner knows that the partner worked on, and so that way you will be a successful first-year associate and be faced with incredible plaudits for the research that you've done. My contact information, in case you have any questions, it's samuel.urbano@tr.com or at Lindy Hop Lawyer. I should address this with my availability for the given week. Typically, I will post that. I've been under the weather a lot lately, though, so watch for that information and for this video on YouTube shortly. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.